Hey my knife friends, it's Connor Chops. These are my daily knife 13 knives. They're both Atayals it's an indigenous style knife from Taiwan. And these are both in that style. This one is Work Tough Gear. This is the Atayal XL. This is the sheath it comes in. It's this split style. And it has these leaves like you can pull apart. I'm gonna go ahead and take this glove off because, to be honest, the sheath on the Atayal XL is really difficult to deal with for me. I don't know. I have not figured out a good method on how to get it back in there. But you kind of, you can just pull it straight out and it just comes apart. The trick is trying to get it back in. It just does not want to go. You have to jiggle it back and forth. What I usually do is just kind of split it open. And see, even then, it's still, that's about as good as you can get it most of the time. You have to kind of, there we go. See, it's finally in. So I've got to figure out how to do that better. This is the knife. You've seen this. This is very popular. They're in stock. They are in stock. There's at least 2 versions. There's the ones with the white liners. And then there's the blue one. I think that both of those are in stock. Atayal XL, Work Tough Gear. These are about like $260. And then you've got another $30 in shipping. And then another between $30 and $50 in tariffs. Is it worth all all of that? Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what you're looking for. It is, and if you really need it, I would say, yeah, while they're in stock. I mean, if you've got PayPal Pay in 4, do it that way. Pay in 4. That's the best way. That's the way I do almost all my knives. This is a big knife. Now let's look at another knife that is a comparative version. This is not a clone or a copy of this knife. They are just both the same style, just like a Bowie knife. So you can see, put this sheath down. This is a much better sheath, by the way. Much better. In my opinion, it's simple. It's the same. You can see these 2 knives are very, very similar. But see this sheath, just put it in. And it's in. It's even got, it's got a spot there for a retention screw. But you know, I just wish that Work Tough Gear would have kept it more simple with their XL. This is the Bolte Jungle Crazy 5 in A8 steel. Both of these knives both these brands use the exact same, as far as I know, the same tempering process. They're just different grades of steel. This is K329, which is A8 modified steel. This is standard A8 steel. So this is just a click above this as far as edge retention. Toughness, this one might be a little tougher, but we're talking such high toughness on both of these that you're talking 3V or higher levels of toughness on both of these, especially A8. The reason I say A8 is even tougher than K329 or A8 mod is because, well, yeah, it is a little tougher, but it doesn't hold as good of edge retention in comparison. That's why this is modified. K329 A8 mod is modified to improve edge retention. This has okay edge retention, but it's not going to, you know, set your hair on fire. It's not going to be bad either. It's going to be surprisingly good. A8 steel is wood chipper steel. That is, like, you know, that's just kind of what it's known as on the side. But you can see between these two knives, the grinds are very different. The width of the blade is different. The length of the blade is different. This is longer by about 1/4 inch, I think. It's hard to tell. Let's see if I can get them really close together. What is the deal there? Let's see. There we go. You can kind of tell that this one over here is a little bit longer. Same thickness. I forgot. I think it's 6 mil. They're both distally tapered, meaning they get thinner towards the tip. Totally different grinds. Totally different handles too. You can the handles are actually one of the biggest things between these two. You can see this one is a smaller handle. This one is a huge handle. My hands are from here to here. It's 3 3/4 inch. So you can see how much you got. You got a lot. You got a lot with the Work Tough Gear Atayal XL. Now, the Jungle Crazy 5 is still smaller handle. Get down there. Smaller handle, but you still got plenty of room. Plenty of room on it. Even to choke back some. This is a lighter knife. The Jungle Crazy is a lighter knife. I think it's mainly due to the handle, but it's not skeletonized. I think it's, and this one is a little thinner towards the tip. They start out the same thickness, but this one gets a little bit thinner a little earlier, I think, or maybe it's just the length of it makes it thinner because it's a little longer. This one has a little more curve to it. This one is a little more subtle. Biggest difference between these is $100 more minimum. $100 more than this. Are you going to get the same performance? This is a convex edge. This is a standard V grind. They're both going to be about the same difficulty to resharpen. This one's going to be a little harder. Convex edges are just a little harder. You can maintain them quite well. You got to learn how to do that. If you're going to buy Work Tough Gear, you better know how to deal with a convex edge, because I think virtually every one of their knives is a convex edge. This is a standard V grind, which is more versatile. It's the common edge that most of us use on a day-to-day basis. Everything from, most things from like kitchen knives to, you know, Swiss Army knives, everything else. No. It's just a stick. This one I think is like 100 and I don't know for sure. I'm going to find out and I'll update it in the description. But I think that the Jungle Crazy, the bolt here, you can see bolt. I think this one is 150 to 170, or maybe 180, pushing it. I don't think it's that much. I think it's like 160 something. But, you know, I don't know for sure. The price does come, you know, it goes up and down a little bit. But right now they do have a winter sale, so I don't know if you guys can get the coupon. Just use PayPal. Anytime you use AliExpress, always PayPal, always PayPal. Don't even buy. I won't even buy from AliExpress unless I'm using PayPal. Because PayPal gives you that extra layer of protection as a consumer and as a seller, buyer. They have to pay for that. But these days it's cheaper to buy PayPal because it's a 6%. I think it's a 6% fee to use it, where it is a 12% to use just a regular old credit card. But I mean, I would always use PayPal, and if AliExpress quits accepting PayPal, gonna chop no buy. So Anyway, these two knives are exceptionally good. It is up to you guys to decide whether it is worth it to buy the Atayal XL. They are in stock, and they are an extremely good knife. It is very difficult to say to pass that up while they're available. If it were me, well, you already know if it's me. I got it. But the Jungle Crazy is totally worth it for $100 less. Yeah. I mean, if it was $50 less, I'd say no. But 100 or more than 100, yeah, go for that. There's absolutely no loss in quality whatsoever. This is as good a quality as this any day of the week. I have both knives, I know. I don't have anything to gain by, but you guys can buy whatever you want. I'm just saying, between these two knives, it is really difficult to justify. For me, you know, if you're talking money, yeah, this one is hard to justify in comparison with the performance when you're getting 85% of the performance. Maybe 80%, 80 to 85%. The convex edge on this makes up a lot of difference. You can put a convex edge on this. If you know what you're doing, you can do that. So then you've got, you know, you got both. And you've also got the same grade of steel. This is just slightly better. The A8 mod is just slightly better. They're still doing the same tempering that they're doing on both these knives. Are done the exact same tempering process. It's this low temp tempering process. They do it twice on their A8 and their DC53. So their DC53 from Bolt, HJF, PSRK, Bison. I always forget Bison because Bison is so limited. You know, they make, these guys only, they don't even make 1,000 blades per run, not even near that. You're talking a couple hundred, 300, 400, 500 at most for a lot of these knives. So they go quick. You just have to kind of know how to talk to, you know, you have to actually message a human being and talk to them, because the way that the laws are over where these knives come from in China, you know, you have to actually do a little bit of work. But once you learn and develop a relationship like I have, it's easy. You just ask, you know, and he lets you know when new knives come out. You can say no, you can say yes. If it's Bolt, or if it's the companies I mentioned, Bolt, HJF, Bison, PSRK, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, yeah, yes. And he's very flexible, at least both at South Hill Outdoors store and at Xylan, Xilan, I think, Outdoors store. I don't know. They both have very similar knives, and sorry guys, I'm blocking the camera. They both have very similar types of wares, so you just can contact both of those guys that have the same types of things. Anyway, this has been a very long, meandering daily knife 13. I might make a short form of it, but I probably won't, because you know, it gets too much attention, and I don't need a bunch of people screaming, say, hey, it's a clone, when these knives are absolutely totally different. I mean, this one has a guard, this one doesn't. Everything is different about this knife than this one. It's just they're similar, but you get people sometimes screaming and yelling. That's okay. I'm no judge. I'm just Connor Chops, and I like knives. Anyway, have a good one. Subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Just take care. Have a good one, and bye-bye.